useless.
It's the Minotaur, and he's struggling with a winged one's girl. She must be Lady Celeste. Alexander steps further into the room. The movement catches Lady Celeste's eye. She screams for help.
You there, human! Help me! Help! I beg of you, please don't hurt me!
Your struggles are useless.
It's the Minotaur, and he's struggling with a winged one's girl. She must be Lady Celeste. Lady Celeste, looking desperately around the room for any possible means of escape, suddenly spots Alexander.
You there, human! Help me! Help!
Who dares enter my lair?
I ask you to release your captive or suffer the consequences.
Never. You die, human.
As the Minotaur advances in attack, Alexander slowly backs away. Until he can back away no more.
Now where to, little man? Your struggles are useless.
It's the Minotaur, and he's struggling with a winged one's girl. She must be Lady Celeste. Alexander steps further into the room. The movement catches Lady Celeste's eye. She screams for help.
You there, human! Help me! Help!
Who dares enter my lair?
I ask you to release your captive or suffer the consequences.
Never. You die, human.
As the Minotaur advances in attack, Alexander slowly backs away. Until he can back away no more.
Now where to, little man?
I'll take care of the Minotaur, milady. Have no fear. Wouldn't you like to let the girl and I go?
Don't be a fool. Now you die. Tickets. Oh. Next.
There's something to be said for taking the bull by the horns, Alexander. Perhaps Alexander should find out more about the oyster first.
Why aren't you asleep like the other oysters?
Oh, I'm so weary, but I can't sleep. I have a terrible ache in my mouth.
What's wrong with your mouth?
No offense, but it hurts too much to talk.
oysters is sitting up in bed and doesn't look very happy. He seems to be the only one who can't sleep. In the oyster's mouth, Alexander can see a glint of white.
If you're having trouble sleeping, perhaps you'd like me to read to you.
Hey, that would be great.
2 dulcimers raised to the degree of 40 half-dulcimers, divided into equal parts by the third of a cackle of grouse geese, put over the result of 10 fine mackles, albeit small fine mackles, stretched over the total of 53 and an eighth bottles of wild beast lard. Yields a gilded minnow of precise measurements, 2,069 centidrills by 3,023 and 6/7 puns, not punts, as might be expected. This is not to say, however, in any sense whatsoever, that deviations in mean temperature of 5 or 6 dregs or so indicate a fabrication or derivation sufficiently broad enough to exacerbate the conclusions uncovered in due course with regards to the dimensions, consistency, mass, or thickness inherent in the menial suckling grouse.
The poor little oyster falls into an uneasy sleep, though it's clear he is still not resting easy. Alexander decides to leave him to his nap. Alexander doesn't want to wake up the sleeping oyster. The oyster with the mustache seems to be resting rather uneasily. The oyster with the mustache seems to be resting rather uneasily. Alexander doesn't want to disturb the treehouses. Alexander may indeed be heartbroken over Cosima, but he's hardly ready to use the dagger on himself. Alexander doesn't want to use the scythe on himself. He's not that depressed. Alexander drinks the oracle's sacred water. The vial disintegrates as it's drained. The ocean is only visible for a few feet before it becomes shrouded in mist. The ocean is not as calm as it appears. Underwater currents tug at Alexander's legs. The ocean is not as calm as it appears. Underwater currents tug at Alexander's legs. The underwater tow is amazingly strong here. It pulls ferociously at Alexander's legs. Before Alexander can retreat, the currents grab his legs. The shifting sand vanishes from beneath his feet. Against his best efforts, he is dragged out to sea. The currents around the island pull Alexander under. As Alexander struggles to the surface for the third and last time, he finds himself wishing he'd paid more attention to the warning signs of an undertow.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
Nothing like getting swept off your feet. The way north is blocked by impenetrable forest. The way north is blocked by impenetrable forest. Alexander is frozen at the spectacle before him. Robed figures are gathered around a bonfire. Some mystical ceremony is taking place, but as to its purpose, Alexander has no clue.
Brothers, look.
Uh-oh, Alexander's been seen.
This must be the foreigner we were warned about. How appropriate that he should come during our rain festival. Place him in the sacrificial cage.
Wait! I must rescue the princess!
There's an ancient druid saying, a man who would save others must first save himself.
Alexander is pushed into the confining wicker cage. And the cage is swung out over the bonfire. Alexander starts to feel a little warm. The bottom of the cage is getting uncomfortably hot. Alexander is getting really hot. Mercifully, Alexander passes out from the heat before the first tongues of flame ignite the wicker.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
That was a bit too hot to handle. Alexander should have been better prepared.